And now to a Fox News alert. China escalating the ongoing trade war with the United States, raising the tariffs on U.S. goods to 125%.
Peter Doocy is live at the White House with the details. Good morning, Peter.
Good morning. They did raise the tariffs overnight, but the Chinese are putting out the word now today that they are done matching the Trump U.S. tariffs. So they got them up to 125%, but the Chinese officials are telling us that they don't think it's worth matching tariff for tariff anymore with these economic sanctions that they call a joke.
How close are you to the first country coming to actually make a deal with the United States over tariffs? Is it days, months?
Well, I think it's very close, but, you know, we have to have a deal that we like. We don't want a deal that's going to be a bad deal, or I could make every deal in one day if I wanted to.
You wouldn't extend the pause?
Yeah. We'll have to see what happens at that time.
So the Chinese rate on U.S. imports is now 125%. The new U.S. rate on Chinese imports, 145% overall. That's higher than yesterday because the existing 20% fentanyl tariffs were left off the calculation. The president is also warning Mexico today that they owe 1.3 million acres of water acres to Texas under a 1944 water treaty. He wrote, "My Agriculture Secretary, Brooke Rollins, is standing up for Texas farmers, and we will keep escalating consequences, including tariffs and maybe even sanctions, until Mexico honors the treaty and gives Texas the water they are owed." And there's a great item in the Wall Street Journal today about how these negotiations, these trade deals the White House is taking on typically take years each. But the White House wants to get them all done in the next several weeks. We will see President Trump later on this morning when he is on his way to Walter Reed for his annual physical. Back to you.
All right, Peter, will that information be public?
As much as he wants to put out, they are big sticklers with HIPAA for the president. So as much as he wants to put out, we should get in the next couple weeks.
And Peter, on this trade thing, do you think it caught the administration by surprise that China went from 84 to over 100?
No, if you talk to folks around here, they think it is the plan working. They think that is China recognizing there is a limit to how far they can go in this trade war that White House officials believe is basically the U.S. and every other country now against China.
That's right.
Peter, one more question. What about the water in Lawrence's state in Texas? They're saying that belongs to the U.S. Where is the water? What bodies of water are they talking about?
That is a great question, Ainsley. I am learning about this on Truth Social, like a lot of people this morning, and so we can get. I don't want to say the wrong water, but it's 1.3 million acres.
Well, we already have the Gulf of America.
Right.
So.
Yeah, Peter, I appreciate it.
A bird just landed on my head.
What is going
Was that a
on?
bird?
What was that about?
I did not like that at all.
Peter, the back of your hair is standing up now.
I mean, you got good hair, though.
What is going on?
That's probably so dirty.
Had to be scary.
It's probably so dirty.
Right.
Did he say dirty?
Yeah.
Scary.
I know.
Hey, President Trump, if you're watching upstairs, we got to do something about these birds.
Absolutely.
Where's the Park Service? The parks, they're always out here sweeping the street and blowing, except when the birds are landing on my head.
Oh my God.
Right.
Sorry about that.
Hope it didn't have the flu.
That's right.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
Thanks, Peter.
Can we get the shampoo guy down here?
Right.
Oh my God.
Somebody get some 10X. All right.
That had to be scary. Came up from behind.
big bird,
That was a
chasing it.
big bird.
Yeah, it wasn't like a
And it
cardinal
came back
just
from a
dropping in.
flyback as well.
Right.
You know, I think China knows exactly who they're dealing with here. I remember in 2017, the president invited President Xi, to Mar-a-Lago to have dinner. And in the middle of that dinner, he steps away and goes and orders a strike on Syria. So he understands the toughness of Trump. He knew this was going to be a back and forth. I think eventually they do cave, and there's going to be a deal somewhere in the middle. I don't think it's going to go zeroed out. But I like the pressure that's been finally put on China.
Well, I think I don't think they flat out caved because I think there's a pride thing going on here. But the China economy's got huge problems. It's got a property market slump right now. They're trying to dig themselves out of a crisis by putting more stimulus money in. But basically they have so much housing and not enough people to fill it. They built cities and no one went. They were trying to generate a wealth effect but it has not happened. 70% of their household wealth is tied to real estate, and the confidence in their own economy is eroding. And they got this other thing that's caught them by surprise. The next generation of Chinese workers are not working. 18 to 34, they're coming out of college, either refusing to or not having jobs. Now, what do? You got to put them to work. Where are you going to go with that market? You got to go outside the borders. You can't just serve the Chinese market. They're not buying. We are their #1 consumers. So this is something that right away, they say that they're growing at 4.5%. The GDP could lose right away 0.5%. So they've relied on our outpouring of goods and getting rid of their cars, dumping all this material in all the Western countries. If we all stop buying it, or it becomes cost prohibitive, they're going to find themselves in a huge crisis.
All right, Jamison Greer, the U.S. trade representative, the one that you've seen on Capitol Hill, testifying in front of Congress, both houses. He is going to be on our show at 7:30. We'll ask him all these questions, and maybe he'll spill the beans on what the first deal is going to be, because Donald Trump said we're very close to making a deal.
Well, we have some clues. Taiwan wants to buy more of our weapons right away. They want to start working on a deal. It looks like Japan is addressing the tariffing already, affecting the auto and steel industry. They want to talk to us about that. And South Korea's government is going to provide $6.2 billion in assistance for business exporting to the U.S. So they're trying to adjust while trying to do a deal.
That's right.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.